All right, guys, Wes here, and today we've got a ton of news to talk about for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Every time we get news for this game, it just keeps getting even bigger and better, and Insomniac is continuously pulling out all of the punches for this game. We have new gameplay features to cover that are out of this world crazy, and I mean that literally. We have new comments from Yuri Lowenthal, as well as voice actor Tony Todd, who is portraying Venom in Spider-Man 2. We have some new information regarding the release date, and of course we have to talk about the big gameplay revealed during the PlayStation Showcase that, according to a recent leak, will be taking place in late May or early June. We're going to talk about all of that and more. Get ready, because Spider-Man 2 is going to be even bigger and better than we all expected it to be. But real quick, guys, I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 for 110,000 subscribers. This is your last chance to enter the giveaway, guys. I will be announcing it in my next video, so definitely enter. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, and then tweet me proof that you're subscribed. I have more details as well as a bonus entry in the pinned comment. As this year chugs along, many games have been released, and it seems like every other one has been kind of a disaster. Xbox Game Studios has had their issues as of lately, and even the PlayStation 5 has also had an unfortunate release after Forspoken. There is one juggernaut that is slowly approaching, which is the next first-party title from PlayStation Studios, Insomniac Games' Marvel Spider-Man 2. Insomniac has been hard at work making sure their new open-world superhero game is as good as it can be, and after multiple years of virtual radio silence, and over the course of the last few days and weeks, we've got a ton of new details. So let's go ahead and jump into it right now. The earliest teasers for Spider-Man 2 actually came from the first game's creative director shortly after the game's launch in 2018. When the question was asked why the iconic black suit was not in the game, creative director Brian Intihar said having it as an unlockable simply wouldn't be doing it justice, and that Insomniac would have to tell its entire story in order to put it in the game, which was the first time that the Venom arc was teased for this universe. Venom was also teased in the Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales game before being explicitly confirmed in the 2021 reveal trailer. Miles Morales also featured a post-credits scene that implied that the Osborn family is going to play a much larger role in Marvel Spider-Man 2 than they did in the original, although this hasn't been quite as confirmed as Venom, likely so that nothing is spoiled. Needless to say, Insomniac has been working very hard on Spider-Man 2 for a long time, and they're going to make sure that they do everything right. Well, according to an article recently, the status of the game's development is a little bit up in the air after some updates from Peter Parker's voice actor Yuri Lowenthal. Yuri hosted a Reddit AMA where he asked if he had finished up recording voice lines for Spider-Man 2, to which he responded, "Yep, can't wait for you to play it." Another Reddit user posed the question to Yuri if he was also done with the motion capture for work as well, to which Yuri responded, "Yep, all done." However, things got kind of confusing just a few hours later. Someone on Twitter asked the question if he was done with the voice work and motion capture for Spider-Man 2, to which he responded, "No, we still have tons more to do." This seems to conflict with a statement from Yuri Lowenthal made back in January when he said that he had only a little bit of work left to do for Spider-Man 2. So with the game reportedly coming out this September, I honestly don't know what to believe. On one hand, it would make total sense for Lowenthal to be done with motion capture and voice, as it would give Insomniac a decent amount of time to line everything up and integrate it into their engine with the gameplay by the time the game comes out. Now, on the other hand, it doesn't explain why within a matter of hours Lowenthal went from saying yep, he's totally done with the game, to then saying that no, he's not done and he still has tons of work left to do. Maybe this is Lowenthal intentionally trying to keep the community guessing. Maybe he got a nice little email from Insomniac so that way that the team can surprise everyone when it comes time to show the game off. But honestly, right now, your guess is as good as mine as to why Peter Parker himself has been giving us conflicting information. Now, before I talk about one of the biggest mechanics for Spider-Man 2, I'd like to talk about another statement from another voice actor who's been talking to us about the status of the game. Tony Todd, who plays Venom in the new game, revealed a ton of information on Twitter, likely without being told to. He stated in a tweet to a fan that Spider-Man 2 is going to come out in September, although his exact wording was just a tad bit ambiguous. After someone asked him when the game was coming out, he responded, "Looks like September, with massive publicity coming in August. Commercials start dropping in August, so I'm told, hold on to your breath, it's gonna be necessary." A while back, we started hearing from industry insiders that major game publishers are starting to promote their major releases closer to launch, as to avoiding embarrassing situations where they're promoting games for years on end with nothing to show for them. Yep, I'm looking at you, Redfall. So if the game is coming out in September, it would make sense for the marketing campaign to kick off into high gear in August. This also lines up with what Insomniac Games have said last year about the game's targeting an autumn release of 2023. So even though an exact release date has not been given just yet, September seems like the prime month, especially since Spider-Man 2018 also launched in the month of September. Next up, I want to talk about the biggest gameplay mechanic for Spider-Man 2, which makes total sense, especially whenever you consider that this is being developed by Insomniac Games, who also worked on Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Well, according to a user on Twitter, Hip Hop Gamer, they said, "I can confirm hashtag Spider-Man 2 from the legendary Insomniac Games will feature and build upon the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart world shifting, meaning get ready for the next level level of what a multiverse looks like in gaming. Also, graphically and gameplay wise, this is the most open and fluid experience you will ever see so far this generation. So it sounds like Marvel Spider-Man 2 will include the Spider-Verse. Maybe that's why the Insomniac Spider-Man is featured in the Spider-Verse movie. Now, if you've not played Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, the game features a unique world shifting mechanic that allows the players to shift between different dimensions, or rather realities. The mechanic is known as Rift Tether, which is one of the biggest features in the game. Now, the Rift Tether basically allows the player to interact with something in the environment, and when you use the Rift Tether, it will instantly shift you between worlds to explore new areas and avoid obstacles, as well as complete puzzles and stuff like that. Now, the reason that this world shifting mechanic worked in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was because it was made possible due to the high-speed solid-state drive of the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5's SSD allows the game to be even more detailed and have complex environments, as the console can quickly load and render large amounts of data, allowing for a super immersive as well as a dynamic gameplay experience. So if this information from Hip Hop Gamer is correct, then that would mean that we're going to be able to go to different worlds or possibly a different multiverse, like on the fly. I'm picturing some epic events that happen that are similar to Spider-Man No Way Home, as well as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Into the Spider-Verse was published by Sony, and same with No Way Home, because Sony owns the IP. So they probably had the script and the vibe for both of those games. So the mechanic in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is mainly so that they could test for what they planned on doing with Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, this gameplay mechanic is obviously not confirmed yet. The only source is from Hip Hop Gamer, but if they are correct, it would make total sense why Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was utilizing the multiverse mechanic with the Rift Tether. Now, despite the big marketing push not coming until August of this year, I think it's very likely that we will see gameplay of Spider-Man 2 much earlier than that. In fact, a number of sources are claiming that we're going to be getting our first look at Spider-Man 2 gameplay during PlayStation's big showcase this June. Just about every major game company is going to have a showcase in the late spring or early summer around the time of E3, and since Sony hosted a massive state of play last June, it's safe to assume that they're going to be doing the same thing this year. Summer showcases are where game companies like to show off everything that they're working on, and since Spider-Man 2 is the only major first-party PlayStation game coming out in 2023, it's practically a guarantee that we will have some type of presence at the unannounced June PlayStation showcase. Honestly, I'm really excited for Sony's next PlayStation showcase because though 2023 is a bit barren when it comes to actual releases, they have a lot of stuff in the work. There's a multiplayer Last of Us game, there's the highly rumored God of War Ragnarok DLC or new game. Naughty Dog also confirmed that they're working on a new project that will likely be discussed then, and then there's the hardware talk that Sony is going to be working on. For instance, the discless PS5, the new PS5 headsets, and of course the PlayStation 5 Pro and Slim. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will likely be the main event for PlayStation's summer showcase, and we'll probably get some kind of gameplay showcase similar to what we got with the 2018 gameplay reveal. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for an announcement of the next big PlayStation showcase. Another very likely announcement in the next few months is a Spider-Man 2 themed PlayStation console, which is a pretty common tactic for the PlayStation. Maybe we're only going to get a bundle for the PS5 like the God of War Ragnarok bundle, but I have a feeling that we're going to have some sort of custom console similar to what we got for Spider-Man in 2018. I'd love to have a Spider-Man 2 console with a custom paint job and maybe even a custom controller thrown in for good measure. Final Fantasy did it, so I would love to see PlayStation as well for the PS5. For our last bit of news, this is coming straight from Sony themselves, and they reiterated during their fiscal earnings report that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will launch this fiscal year. So all of the previous reports about a September release date is likely true, and for that reason, I am so excited. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Are you hyped for Spider-Man 2? Are you concerned at all? And do you think that that Ratchet & Clank multiverse mechanic will be featured in Spider-Man 2? Let me know in the comments, guys. Don't forget to enter the PS5 giveaway. All of the details are in the pinned comment. Thank you all for watching. This has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.